Hey there, YouTube. I'm going to give you guys a deck profile on my buddy's TG Stun deck. I'm doing really well with locals with it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Check out my Facebook, my eBay store, JrbCollectibles530. Here we go.
Alright, so I run the Striker, 3 Werewolf, 3 Rush Rhino. Everyone knows Striker searches for these two, Werewolf searches for these two, and he searches for those two when they get destroyed at the end phase. Werewolf's good because he special summons when a level 4 or lower is special summoned. He's the 1 tuner, and he special summons. He's like a Cyber Dragon. And then the Rush Rhino is just a 20 or a 2000 beat stick. So good. And they're all targets for Horn of the Phantom Beast except for TG Striker and the TGEM ones. King Tigers, they stop a lot of decks like Frognarks, Froglance, you know, anything with frogs, anything, you know, gadgets, yeah, gadgets, a lot of the new gadget stuff too, the gears, it stops, so it's really good. And then the 3 Thunder King, Thunder King's probably one of the best cards in the deck, just because, you know, he's so versatile, keeps him from duality, keeps him from rotating, really hurts the heroes, really hurts the gadgets, really hurts synchro decks. You know, he just is all around very versatile card. And he's a light target, so. Well, the 1 Cyber Dragon for, just because he lures out, like, he'll lure out bottomlesses or warnings, and also, he's good for Chimera Tech Fortress Dragons against the gear deck. So, I'll bring this over here actually. 1 Black Luster Soldier. I have 4 light targets and 4 dark targets, so you can get them out pretty easily. And they're pretty shocked when you drop a BLS on them. You know, anyone's like, oh crap, I just got BLS. Tech 1 Spirit Reaper. Spirit Reaper is really good with this deck because I'll usually have control with my back row to keep monsters off their field, so why not give them a free poke with Spirit Reaper and rip a card out of their hand. So that's why I play Spirit Reaper, and he's good for a little bit of stall. 2 card D, and that's where the Spirit Reaper also comes into play. If you have a Spirit Reaper, why not card D, you know? Yeah. So card D is just good all around. You should run them in like every deck. +2. Mystical Space Typhoon. I only tech 1 just because you get into some like sticky situations where if you're playing like a deck that completely locks you down with 1 card, like they wall of Revealing Light you. The only other out I have is TG Wonder Magician. But yeah, Mystical Space Typhoon's my 1 answer, and I can usually float for that long, you know, until I draw my MST. 2 dualities. Basically because you can only play 2 dualities. Yeah. I would play 3, but you can't. 1 Reborn. Dark Hole. Lance. Lances are good, you know. It's pretty much almost a staple now, ever since the... I think they were before the battle pack, but now you just see way a lot more Lance. And that's all the spells I run. Now traps. Judgment. Warnings, you know why.
The Solemn Brigade.
Double Torrential. The reason I run 2 Torrential is I'm not really scared of Starlight Roads at all because I have answers to a Stardust Dragon. Like, I have some pretty good answers to a Stardust Dragon. I'll either take it or warning it.
And most people don't run Starlight Roads. Torrential Tribute shuts down the wind-up play when they're trying to go off and do their big...
whoop-de-doo.
Yeah, their huge play when they go off on you. Put Shockmaster on the field and all that stuff, and just torrential their whole field beforehand.
So, also the torrential is good is because if I have a lone TG monster, and also my Werewolf stops their combo too, because they would put game on the field. If I summon that Werewolf, all their monsters are so much attack, and they have to use their Pavlon before my Werewolf, that I can usually get away with not being OTK'd and have 1 more turn to come back. So also the Torrential is good for my TG monsters add themselves like their
and sometimes you have that TG1 EM1 set and you have that wolf in your hand. They special summon, you can special summon the wolf. They try to go off, you TG1 EM1 take control. Take control of the Shockmaster.
I'm taking the Shockmaster. I'm not messing around. 2 Huge Revolutions is over. I play the Huge Revolution is over to protect my back row mostly, and
it can't be warninged.
Yeah, it can't be warning, which is why I think it's a little bit superior to Starlight Road. And also, let's say they have a monster and I have one monster and they Dark Hole, I can activate this in response to that Dark Hole. Or they have one set card and I have one set card. I could activate this if this is my one set card, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know, it's kind of situation. It's more situational for monsters in that sense. 2 Horn of the Phantom Beast. Horn puts all my monsters, puts Werewolf up to 2k, which is awesome because he's a little 3-star beater. And then the Rush Rhino chills at 24 and attacks at 28, which is a huge difference. He can crash into pretty much he can get almost anything off the field with that, and a well-placed lance or something like that. So that's why I run this, and it puts the King Tiger at 25, which makes King Tiger just so more threatening.
Yeah, more devastating.
Yeah. The 2 TGEM ones, they're creature swaps, but they're better. So I take your big monster and I give you my little tiny, probably Werewolf or Striker, something like that. It could even be a Rush Rhino if it's big enough. Also, I mean, I've taken everything with this card. This card is really good. It's better creature swap. 2 Bottomless. It's pretty much self-explanatory. More field control. Keep the monsters off. That might be problematic later. And
Triple-dimensional prison.
Triple-dimensional prison. I like running Mirror Force, but I don't know. I've been experimenting with Mirror Force, but I really haven't. So I might try Mirror Force again. But 3D prison is just working out so well because Mirror Force just dumps him into the grave. This just gets rid of the problem. There's just no more problem anymore. Poof, gone.
Yeah.
And you can select what targets you want. Like, I mean, if you Mirror Force a Grapha, which is, that's sort of the hardest matchup for this deck, you Mirror Force a Grapha, it's just going to come back next turn. This is gone. Grapha's not a problem anymore. It's like Trans Archfiend or something. My extra deck, run TG Hyper Librarian. Just put it on the field against, Plant Doppel deck or a X-Sabers or anything like that, and they will not want a Synchro.
Yeah.
Just pretty much the Synchro stopper. The Wonder Magician. Wonder Magician's my 1 MST. I can drop 5s really easily. Striker, Werewolf, Striker Special Summon Werewolf. You can drop 5s really easily with this deck, so those are my 2 TG 5s, and that pops and draws 1, so it's good. Cadister. You know what Cadister does. He's good.
Yeah, anything other than dark, I'll just automatically destroy when he's attacking it.
Yeah, he's number 1 answer. If you have a Striker, they have one monster that's huge. You have a Striker and a Werewolf in your hand. That's your out right there. And then 6-star Gaia. Gaia's good because 26 beater, and he works well with the Skildrines that I side deck. So if I want to go more, and I lost Brinac, so
yeah,
that's also why. Here's my 3s. Acid Golem, Zenmaines, Leviar, and number 17. All those are pretty much self-explanatory. I think they're like the common 3 stars run. The Photon Pavillon to flip monsters, Djinn, Utopia, Gem Knight, Pearl, and then the double 4 stars. Sigma, and
you mean triple 4-star?
Oh yeah, triple 4-star. So these are the double 4-stars.
Yeah,
the triple 4 stars. Shockmaster and Sigma, and then Chimera Tech Fortress Dragon.
For his Tech Cyber Dragon.
Yeah, for my Tech Cyber Dragon, and then I'm gonna go ahead and go into the side deck because the side deck is part of this deck and how it runs. 2 Doom Caliber Knight, which is good if you need more stun power.
It's like a 4-star Logia almost.
Yeah.
For monsters.
The 1 Barbaros for he's 19, and he
Beast goes with Horn and combos with the Skildrines.
2 Fossil Dino against all the synchro spam decks and decks that synchro a lot or spam the field with special summon. 1 Kaiku just for Dark World.
Works really well against Chaos Dragons too if you're run into one.
Yeah, if anything that relies on the graveyard, even like Frognarks and stuff, it just rips cards out of the graveyard, so it's good against all those decks. 2 Shrink, just because I side more stunny, and Shrink's a really good stun card, keeps my monsters alive for a little bit longer. The other MST, I only want to run 2 MSTs, so I only do.
Yeah.
2 Close Forest, and this is why I'm not siding another Kaiku, is Close Forest pretty much shuts down Dark World because they can't do anything. And it gives my beast type monsters 100 attack.
It helps out
for each monster in your graveyard. It doesn't even have to be a beast monster.
That it helps out with against Gravekeepers and the Rock Stun.
Yeah,
so,
it just locks down
useful
anything.
card.
And there's a lot of new decks out there that are using a lot of field stuff like the Rock Stun, Madolches. I think the Atlantean deck might use field spells and stuff like that, so it's just good to already be citing that. Then more MST's Dust Tornadoes, basically.
Very good side deck choice.
Yeah, Dust Tornadoes are really good against Chain Burn, you know, anything that's playing massive amount of back row, sorry. I won a game just because of these. I sided these in, and that was all I needed to win him. It was one of those stupid lockdown decks that makes it so you can't mill, or you can't attack because you can't mill to your graveyard because of macro. And then, yeah, that won me that game. Then 2 skill drains for just in case I'm versing wind-ups or something that is heavily dependent on monster effects. So I always can bounce back to the skill drain because I'm not main decking them because I don't see that it needs to be main decked this format.
Yeah.
And it leaves more room for other good cards like Card D and stuff like that. So.
Well, you saw it, YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, like my my Facebook, check me out on eBay. Thank you guys for watching. Signing off.